Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your daily 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops. And, this is a night where we had 10 NBA games in-season tournament, the first Tuesday of the in-season tournament. But today, I want to talk about the main topic to me, which is the Miami Heat, who won their sixth straight game. After starting kind of a cold 1-4 to start the year, people were doubting them. They said, Miami's not good. They lost too much. They can't compete. But the Heat have now won their sixth straight game to move to 7-4, which I believe is tied for third place in the Eastern Conference. They've been really good. Miami, after that start, has been really solid. And despite Tyler Herro not playing, they've missed Jimmy Butler for a couple games. Bam's missed a game. But despite that, it doesn't really matter. And they are now 6-0 since moving Haywood Highsmith into the starting lineup. And I just want to spend some time highlighting Highsmith because in tonight's game finishes with 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, but more impressively, 5 steals and 2 blocks. So 7 stocks for Haywood Highsmith, and he has just become kind of like a master of getting steals and blocks. He's going to have a ton of those flash defensive plays and just show all-out effort all the time. Highsmith is a super fun watch and is really arguably the biggest reason they won this game. Jimmy was great, but Haywood Highsmith does all the dirty work in this win for Miami, and he has been huge for them over their past few games. And Highsmith, after showing he was a role player last year, just continues to prove that he's a good NBA player in a starting caliber player, which is better than people expected. And on top of Highsmith becoming a bigger role this year, they're also getting a lot of production from rookie Jaime Jaquez Jr., who finishes with 17 points in tonight's game on 8 of 13 shooting, also had 5 rebounds, doing what he always does. He's going to give you an impact offensively, he's going to play defense, he's going to get rebounds. A really kind of fundamental game, does a lot of he'll catch it in the post, he'll pivot a couple times, he'll go up and under. Really kind of old style game for Jaquez, but it works. He looks really good as a rookie, is ready to impact the game positively right away. And I don't think you can say enough about how good Jaquez has been as a rookie stepping up for this team. He had a 20-point game the other day, which I talked about, but Bam Adebayo good in this game as well. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals and a block, doing some of everything. Bam Adebayo has been phenomenal this year. Looks like a no-brainer all-star and just looks just as good as we've ever seen from him. Duncan Robinson as well, 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in this game. After the good game he just had against the Spurs, he has another really good game in this win over the Hornets. 6 of 13 from the field is fine. 4 of 10 from 3, also fine. But the scoring, the rebounding from a known just kind of shooter and thought of as a bad defender, the rebounding was really solid. And Jimmy Butler, the highest scorer in this game for Miami, with 32 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 10 of 14 from the field. Very efficient night for Jimmy. And as always, he got to the free throw line where he hit 11 of 14 attempts. And this is, despite going against the Hornets, this wasn't some easy win for Miami because LaMelo Ball puts up 28 points and 11 assists for Charlotte. Bad efficiency, but, oh well. And they also get 32 from PJ Washington, who was really solid. And Mark Williams, 11 points, 7 rebounds. They had a couple guys off the bench in double figures. But despite that, Miami wins this game. The Hornets shoot 47% from 3 and lose because Miami just wins games that they shouldn't win. They grind it out. They find ways to win where you wouldn't expect it, by getting great production from Haywood Highsmith, by getting really good production from Jaime Jaquez Jr. off the bench. They even get a plus 11 from Josh Richardson off the bench with 6 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Yes, a triple single, but still made a really positive impact. In Miami, despite who you put out there, they're just going to win because Erik Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA right now, and he proves it. It feels like every single night that they go out there. In Miami, somehow, despite not having a top 5 guy in the league, top 10 guy in the league, really. Maybe Jimmy's top 10. He's probably more like top 15. But Miami's going to be good. They're always going to be good. They're going to get guys to outperform what people expected of them. And in this case, it's Highsmith, it is Jaquez, and it is a bounce back year from Duncan Robinson. They don't get a ton of production from like a bunch of other guys. Drew Smith, who was solid in a game earlier this week, only plays 3 minutes. Nikola Jovic doesn't play in this game, but despite that, they're going to get production from guys where it seems like you wouldn't get it, and they're going to win anyway. 6 straight wins for Miami, look like one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, which after their first 5 games you would not have expected at all, but they've been a constant presence over the past couple weeks, and Miami defies expectations. They do the impossible, and they don't really make sense, but they're going to get wins regardless. But now let's shoot around the league, shoot around the NBA, look at different action, different outcomes, and get an idea of what happened on this night of NBA basketball. So, in other action from around the NBA, we had 9 other games of in-season tournament action, and there was a lot of kind of drama tonight, a couple of fights. Draymond gets ejected for putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold. Anthony Davis and the Grizzlies guys get into it. A lot of kind of a back and forth and, tension heavy night of basketball. But let's look at some other outcomes. The Hawks beat the Pistons 126-120 behind 32 points, 10 assists, and 3 steals from DeJounte Murray, who has just been great this year. He's probably been the Hawks' best player. And then for the Pistons, it's 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals from Ausar Thompson, who I think is one of the best rookie defenders I've ever seen, and is arguably the best rookie so far. On a night where we see Wemby and Chet face off and both finish with single-digit points, Ausar Thompson proves once again he just does a little bit of everything. The Pacers get revenge and beat the Sixers 132-126 after losing to them earlier this season, but they get 33 points and 15 assists from Tyrese Halliburton, who now has 32 assists in his last 2 games with 0 turnovers. It is actually ridiculous what we're seeing from Halliburton. And Embiid has 39, 12, and 6 in this game. The Nets beat the Magic 124-104. I thought about making the Nets the main topic because they don't really make a ton of sense either. No Cam Thomas, no Ben Simmons in this game, but they get 29 points and 9 assists from Spencer Dinwiddie and take down a Magic team that has looked really good to start the year, but the Nets moved to 6-5. The Thunder beat the Spurs 123-87. They get 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 steals from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and this is a blowout pretty much from the get-go. The Pelicans get a shocking win over the Dallas Mavericks, 131-110. This is a game where Luka and Kyrie both struggled, and the Mavs for the first time this year looked just completely outmatched. And the Pelicans, the last time they played them, they kind of easily beat them, but the Pelicans take this one easily on the flip side. 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists from Brandon Ingram. The Jazz beat the Blazers 115-99. 30 points for Jordan Clarkson. He just had a 30-point game recently as well. He's been good. Not a great Lauri Markkanen game, but the Jazz win regardless. DeAndre Ayton with 22 points and 10 rebounds. Then we still have 3 games going on, but it feels like the Lakers one is already over. The Lakers are up 74-51 at halftime. Anthony Davis already with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks. The Clippers Nuggets is a 1-point game in the fourth quarter. Paul George and Nikola Jokic both have at least 24, and Jokic has 13 rebounds and 8 assists as well. The Warriors are up on the Timberwolves 83-76 in the fourth quarter, despite both Draymond and Klay Thompson getting ejected earlier in the game, and Steph Curry out with an injury, and that's mostly thanks to Brandon Pajimski, who has 20 points. The rookie looks really good for Golden State, and I think they're going to have to start giving him more minutes, despite Steve Kerr being reluctant to do so far. But as always, now let's get into the last segment, which is the top 5 players of the night according to the Real Sports app. I just want to show who the top players on any given night are. Yes, the games aren't quite over, but this will give us a good glimpse at it. At number 1, we have Tyrese Halliburton with 33 points, 15 assists, and 7 made threes. DeJounte Murray at 2 with 32 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds. Jimmy Butler comes in at 3 with 32 points on 71% shooting. Jordan Clarkson at 4 with 30 points on 68% shooting. And rounding out the top 5 is Joel Embiid, 39 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. Jokic could get into this top 5. One other guy I wanted to shout out tonight who I didn't talk about specifically, Obi Toppin had 27 points on 80% shooting. A real kind of breakout game from Obi Toppin, who was phenomenal. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Thanks for watching. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers, so think about subbing if you like the daily recaps. But that'll do it for me. So thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.